Just vibing, man. Just vibing. Yeah, I'm just chilling, man. Yeah, just sitting back, relaxing. Just little Q&As with the people. We had a good, we had an amazing adapt class today. Y'all missed it. It's still on YouTube and on our temple page for, I say, to be up there for about 24 hours. Then it'll be down on our temple page. Give me 1 second. Yup. Peace to everybody. Hope everybody having an amazing day. I'm just sitting back, relaxing, man. Nice infused water. Water good. The ginger beer or pineapple. But man, it'd be so funny. So we're just gonna sit back. I'm gonna illustrate a couple things. So a lot of people just like holding up books. So we're gonna do a little game today. This is Behold the Pale Horse. William Cooper. It's been out for a while. But I know Moore's aptitude is so minuscule that they just get you caught up with catchphrases. Man, this book is so old. One, William Cooper is a Freemason, just like Zachariah Stitchin, the one that wrote the Anunnaki, trying to say that Anunnaki is some aliens, but it's really the Iberians, the Moors. It's just a fact. They all Freemasons. They lower Masons. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. They'll have to identify themselves to me. I'm gonna show y'all something real fast. Well, I try to tell y'all, don't get caught up with these goofy Moors. I don't care if they old. I don't care if they're young, because it's all spookism and it's all nigga shit. Excuse my candor. It's all nigga shit. See, this right here, the Secret Treaty of Verona. They talk about the Secret Treaty of Verona, but they don't really know what the really Secret Treaty of Verona. I done saw and listened to the one that people call a Grand Sheik, the man with the hair and all that. And I'm like, dude, they not saying nothing. Because they know you don't know. And so it's easy to get you caught up in, ooh, you heard he said, saying nothing. And I'm not even going to divulge all the way in with the Secret Treaty of Verona, because it'll take too much time to illuminate it. It'll illuminate all the crap that I don't care who they are, somebody so-called Grand Sheik or whatever they saying. It'll destroy their shit in 1.2 seconds. And they can't get mad. We can take this to the courts where no one have a dog in a race, and they going to go with the truth of the matter. And we'll see what happens. Because clearly, Moors is off. They'll talk about some Secret Treaty of Verona, get you all caught up and excited, and then I'll say, well, explain it. You can't even explain it. You can't even explain it. They'll start talking about some consular court, off the wall stuff, just spewing off the mouth, and I say, man, these people is retarded. It's just what it is, man. The Secret Treaty of Verona is in here. And it ain't what they be talking about on the internet, just catchphrases, like them pastors be doing, reading a line or something, highlighting a line, like most Moors do on TikTok. See, they get caught up in so much stuff because they don't know the truth of all the matter. Americans, we know what Noble Drew Ali taught. We know this. But I'm talking about scholarship now. And I don't even have to get all in it. This is scholarship. It ain't no just reading no book and on no TikTok shit. This is the study. When Negroes diss education, the only reason why they dissing it, man, we talk about this stuff in academia. I lecture this in college. Man, when Moors be talking about how can something be hidden from you and it's in a book and it's in libraries. Man, this stuff been on library shelves forever. It's just you not into it. On what library? All libraries, all academia, all this stuff is on college, man. That's why I say the European know more about you than you. Return of the Ancient Ones. This shit is old. This in the library books. All my European students have these books. All of them. That's why I be laughing. They know what I be saying. It only be us with that pissing contest. And then them fake ass Moors, they'll say that more stuff, but afraid to wear their fez. They'll be having goofy ass hats on with that black shit. Come on, man. This is too easy. This is too easy. We are the Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones wore a certain headdress. They changed their name to you. By Empress Verdice, Tierra, Washita, Turner, Gostin, L. Bay. Come on, man. It ain't nothing. Return of the Ancient Ones. When I show y'all the map, the Louisiana Purchase, they didn't purchase nothing. It was stolen land. It was stolen land. That's why I tell my Moors, this is stuff you need to be teaching your babies. The history, the truth. We are the Ancient Ones. Only people that diss academia is niggas. And academia started from us, Timbuktu, Salamanca in Spain. This is scholarship. This ain't no goofy stuff. And that's why I say Moors are lost, due to a lack of knowledge. And we gone and we steady building. While they steady following old Moors that just talking that rhetoric, talk about money, and then want to collect it while they living in the YMCA in bums. Listening to people that say that more stuff but won't never wear their fez in real life. I have a whole library and I make the information for my Moors available for a fraction of the price that you'll have to go on Amazon and buy. We love going to Jeff Bezos, giving them our money, but here it is, a more creative book company, My PDF Books with the Z, books.com with the Z, and you can download all these books for a fraction of the price and go to Office Max or Staples and have them copy and bind it for you. And you can eliminate all falsehoods when Moors be afraid to wear their fezes, when they won't talk about Empress Verdice, Tierra, of the Washita, of the Hundi High Moors, the ancient ones. Come on, man. I don't even have to divulge and go all the way into the science. I challenge you to get the science from us. That's why if you're a student and a member, you get all this stuff for pennies. You go on Amazon, you be like, damn. You go on Amazon and see how much these books cost. All my nobles got the PDF, then they go to Office Max and Staples and print them and bind them. These real NFTs. So if your friends that's into the science, because that's your friends should be in the science, if they're your friends, you can give it to them. That's a true NFT. I'm telling you, man. And so when you start studying and reading, you got to consider the feelings at the time has been a main concern. Some scholars welcome truth and some do not, unless they themselves put in it. And that's what's happened with a lot of Negroes today. With a lot of these goofy ass Moors on the internet. Oh, the first one did. Don't nobody give a fuck if you was the first one. Long as it's done right. It's just like these goofy ass old rappers today. Oh, the young boy that got all this money. Yeah, it's a new era. You mad because you ain't teach the young cats the whole wisdom, and now they doing their thing. They looking at you like a sucker. Not me. Because see, I rock with the youth. Because I show them how to do things legit. And I show them love. Like a big brother. Like a father. And show them the way, the truth, and the light. Not no thug shit. I don't condone that. Nobody around me. And so Lewis and Clark told y'all what they saw when they came to the Americas. You know? That's why they say the truth shall set you free. And what we need to do is to set free the mind. And we cannot free a mind to seek a true knowledge by putting it under a basket. Knowledge is not a lie. It is true. Lewis and Clark said we are here, or we were here when an exploration was made by them for this country. The first white man came to our good area and jotted down a history. Just like when I show y'all the Negro question, and I'll show y'all when I told y'all Judah had like 3 names. When I tell you what a cartographer is. The European agree with me. This supreme wisdom. I don't understand why Moors be on here and don't come in. I don't. Because they want to be lied to. And they criminals. He said, we were here. Phil, Fihol, is one of the first cartographers. Put us on his map and said we were here and owned the place. At that time, he made his map. And the Plano said we are the people that made the road. Rio Negro River, as he called it. Now to cover it up, we call it the Black River. And if I want, that's why we hear Rio Negro, all that El Negro, all that. That's all Moorish Latin. I'm telling you. And if you want to know if a horse have teeth, I got to go to a living horse and open the mouth. And that is what has been done with this science. It took 20 years to find all the pieces. And we hope you enjoy this science as much as we did writing it. It is not literature. It is truth. It is in black and white and to read all over. Thank you, Empress, Verdice, Tierra, Washita, Turner, Gostin, A.O. Bay. And I don't want to go all into it, but this is the stuff you should be teaching with your children. And when I show y'all when I go back, I'm gonna go back to Louisiana. I went when I was at GCU, and we went and got the Louisiana purchased the map, the ground plan for it. I showed it a million times. I show you the South is up top, North is up bottom. I show you Morocco and Jerusalem. All that is walking distance. And I try to bring this stuff to our brothers and sisters. And so then another piece of wisdom, like you go on Amazon and look how much this wisdom costs. Go on Amazon and look how much this costs. When I did a lecture with the Europeans at GCU in the political science, and a lot of so-called African American students blew their mind. This on Amazon for $4 bands. I tell you, it's nothing new under the sun. All my students have this. You should have this in your library. That's why when I be lecturing and people join my lectures, you can get this from mypdfbooks.com for a price. You can download on your tablet and then go to Office Max and Staples and print it. But when I'm lecturing and I be offering books and I say, hey man, certain donation, Moors don't listen, that be on them. Babe, you loud. And that's why Moors are lost. Man, you loud. You super loud. See the Negro question? It's a series of these books by Lee Cummings. And see, people just be talking, and these Moors be afraid to wear their fez. That's what I be saying. I don't have time for no more afraid to wear their fez and talk all that stuff. Now watch this. This is a map. I'm gonna read something to you. This is true history. Listen to this. When the European powers carved up Africa, it was the custom of the European kings in the most days to send out a cartographer. When I say these phrases, if people don't know what I be talking about, I hope they look it up. Because this is how you can illuminate a person, because we don't want to destroy nobody. But if they come in with ego and pride, then you do want to destroy that pride. Because pride must be destroyed, because you can't build a solid foundation on ego and pride. So if that ego and pride don't want to be illuminated, then you have every right to destroy it and walk away in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Because it's operating on its own understanding. Especially these ones that call themselves scholars. So there was a cartographer in 1747 who went by the name of Emmanuel Bowen. Research this stuff. Emmanuel, Bowen. Y'all got the name? Say yes or no. Emmanuel Bowen, Bowen. My elementary students be doing this in school, blowing their teacher's mind. This year I got 3 students that I tutor personally. They started as average students, A students. They work out everything. One of my girls, she didn't make the basketball team last year. She made it this year with flying colors. And she made the track team. Because it's discipline, it's training. If you're in better shape and you can outthink anybody, it's over. Talent only goes so far. Emmanuel Bowen, and this man held the title of royal cartographer for 2 European kings, King George II of England and King Louis of France. But what's unusual about the map that Emmanuel Bowen brought back to these 2 kings is that the center of the map, Bowen shows that the true name of the so-called slave coast was none other than the king of Judah. Remember I showed y'all the book King Juba? All this stuff before Christopher Colombo. All this stuff be written by Europeans. The history is there. We just illuminate it. It was none other than the kingdom of Judah. Right? Judah was known by 4 different names at that time. Did y'all know that? When I ask people, like in history, when you be hearing names and people read over names because they don't even know what they be talking about. Like I can show you stuff all in ancient writings and in the Bible and all that. I said, that's what we talk about. That's in the Quran. It's the same thing when I be talking about words are synonyms and synonymous to this, to that, and the other. You have to know land mass. You have to know geographical area to be factual when you say you're dealing with facts. But Judah was known by 4 different names at that time: Judah, Wuda, Whidah, and Kuda, Quidah, or Abir, Abeier. Look it up. Just like Phoenicium, Phoenice, when they be trying to say Africa was named after some European, when that damn goofy ass film, well, I forgot what it was called, and they was going around talking about Africa was named after a European. Just straight trash. Just straight Negro stuff. That ain't no scholarship. An elementary student would destroy that. Africa was named after a European. Propaganda. Propaganda. And what we call that? Fraudulent concealment. Because that propaganda be playing. That's why when people be saying they sorry, they don't really be sorry. It's just like the food and drug industry. They know when they put shit out as poison. But what does this mean, y'all? It means that you got the proof from the royal map maker himself that Judah was indeed listed among the inhabitants of Africa. Of even greater interest is that, in fact, that the maps were not disputed by the two kings. And you would do well to take heed to the fact that the British laid claim to the so-called slave coast, and that its inhabitants were sold into the British colonies, and one being in North America. So how authentic is this map, you say? I'm going to give you reference where you can look this stuff up. When these Moors be saying they scholars and all this shit, just arguing over nothing. I said, how can you argue over scholarship? That's why they're not scholars, because scholarship is peer-reviewed scholarly research. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what religion you are. It don't matter. If you're dealing with the facts of the truth of the matter of history, don't care about your religion. So you can look this stuff up in Northwestern University, the authentic map of West Africa. The University of Northwestern, Evanston, Illinois, has this map in their inventory and listed as an authentic map of West Africa, 1747, by Emmanuel Bolden. And then you see all these Moors making these videos, this is academia. And then I say, where you getting your fucking information from? Where you getting all the information from all these books from? That's scholarship. If it's peer reviewed, you see how goofy this be? They did stuff because no one's supporting them, or they ain't making no money off no videos. Who cares? Who cares? Even to this day, it's a fort called the Fort of Judah. And if you pull up the information online or at Northwestern University, this is what you will see. Northwestern University Library Maps of Africa, title, A New and Accurate Map of Negro Land. Cartographer, Emmanuel Bolden, 1747. The size of the map, the place in London, subject, West Africa, identification, Northwestern University Library. A Cultural History of Atlantic World, John K. Thornton, Boston University, Cambridge University Press. On page 64 and 70, reference is made that the French had a direct at Wuda, aka Judah, and that the French also had a trading post at Savi, the capital of Wuda, Judah. So the writer knew that the name Wuda was Judah. And so I don't know, but one thing is for certain. The Europeans seem to know where the so-called Negro in the Americas and the Caribbeans came from. See? This is scholarship. I done these lectures on the college campuses packed with Europeans, and they had no problem giving $50 and $100 donation. They came with other friends. And then when after I was done lecturing, I give up books and things. And I do this every Wednesday on GCU campus. And then when I come back on here, I try to do it for small pennies for my people to share the wisdom. The same thing I do to get paid for in life. That's why if we operate on the scriptures, when I was giving a DAP class today, law governs all events, and the workman is due is higher. If you're not into what I'm saying, there's no reason for you to be here. There's no reason for you to give no slander. There's no reason for you to give an opinion. If a person don't want to go by the rules and give a donation, why would you be here consistently? Because I wouldn't. That don't show I'm crazy. That show that you crazy. And not you, but the individual. Louisiana State University, The Ships That Came from Judah. It's a publication written at Louisiana State University titled Creole New Orleans, Race and Americanization, edited by Hirsch and Joseph Logston. Louisiana State University Press, Baton Rouge, London. On page 67 of this writing and its publication are the notes of a white slaver recalling the inventory of human beings on a cargo ship. So you see what he say. He says he writes that 16 slave trading ships arrived from Senegal region. 6 ships came from Judah and landed at the mouth of the Mississippi. And in 1731, one ship from Judah landed 464 slaves at the mouth of the Mississippi. On page 69, it states that the Company of India had a trading post at Judah, which is the Gulf of Benin. There is a complete, there it competed with all the nations of Europe. The Portuguese was taking the upper hand at Judah when I talk about the Spanish acquisition. Northwestern University, Boston University, and Louisiana State University have in its possession documents calling the slave coast of Africa Judah. If you don't believe me, surely you will believe academia. Don't they supposed to be the caretakers of truth? And you also have a town named Judah that was in existence before the Portuguese ever set foot on West African soil. Look, figure 3 is the port town of Judah, so named before the arrival of the Europeans. The kingdom of Judah slave coast was controlled by the British, and all of these black Jews. Here we go again. Remember I told y'all about the Igbo and the Igbo is the true Jew? I showed y'all that. I showed y'all the history of Igbo Ignawa. I might be pronouncing his name wrong. I showed y'all the book. Then I showed y'all the history. I've done this a many times, and I've done it on college campuses. They came pouring in the British colonies. The question that arises from the research is how did these black Jews get to the West Africa, and when did they begin to arrive? And the answer is hidden with Abraham of the Bible. Let's visit it. I'm going to show y'all some pictures. That's why when I say a picture states 1,000 words, when Moors talk about they read the hieroglyphics and the metanatter, I'm like, no, you don't. You're making that shit up. So this phase is, oh, Abraham, how could this be? Figure 4 is a Mari painting scene. It's a Mari painting scene. A Mari painting scene. It's a Mari painting scene. And this painting was found in ancient Mesopotamia. It is called the Mari painting scene. The brown-skinned people in the picture are the ancient Sumerians. Sumer, Shinnur in your Bible, in your biblical scriptures. It was located near the Tigris and the Euphrates River, modern-day Iran and Iraq. The Bible, Genesis 11:31, records that Abraham has the origination in Ur of the Chaldees. Ancient Ur was in the land of Sumer, Shinnur in your Bible, or Mesopotamia. Of particular interest is that the tables that were found in Sumer, in which the ancient Sumerians described themselves as the black-headed people. One of the mighty men that lived in that generation that went by the name of Sargon the Great stated in his writings that he ruled over the blacks, the black-headed people. See the Negro question part 1, page 7 and 8. And I'm going to show you all the figure. Priest guiding a sacrificial bull. Fragment of a mural painting from the palace of Simri Lim, Mari, modern Tel Hariri, Iraq, 2040, 1870 BC. And figure 5 is a black man of Sumer or Ur. And you can see that the image of the ancient Sumerians, that the statement from the Sumerians describing themselves as the black, and the statement from Sargon the Great, one must conclude that the ancient people of Sumer or Ur or Ur were black people, making Abraham of the Bible a black man. And they located a few of the warriors of Mesopotamia, Sumer and Ur, that called themselves the Elamites, the Elamites. And you can take a close look at these guys because they were and are most certainly black per se. We're just talking about, I mean, don't get caught up with the word black. A further reference seen See Genesis, the 10th chapter and verse 22. It clearly states that Elam is the son of Shem, Abraham's father. Read it in your biblical scriptures. Read Genesis, the 10th chapter and verse 22. And it clearly states that Em is the son of Shem, Abraham's father. Come on. Figure 6 is King Shulgi, Sumerian king of Ur, and figure 7 is King Guda of Lagash. Figure 8 is Sargon the Great of Sumer. When they be trying to talk about some Anunnaki, that European Zechariah extension, be trying to talk about some aliens. Man, miss me with that. We're not going to play that. The portrait that you saw on page 11 is of Sargon the Great. It said of the Black King that he ruled from Em to the Mediterranean. This guy was from the same region that Abraham was from, and basically what is evolving from the introduction to this book is that the brother Abraham was indeed a black man, and Sarah, his sister, was a black woman. That's fact, not fiction. From this point of view, I will attempt to trace the footsteps of Abraham's sons, Israel. See what I got on my shirt? All the different manifestation of Israel, how Israel can be broke down in different manifestations. But the sons, Israel and Esau, for the record, I ain't interested in race. I'm interested in one thing. And what might that be, you may ask? That the people of God, the so-called Negro, wake up from this deep sleep that we are in and recognize that we are indeed the people of the Bible, the footsteps of the black seed of Abraham. In order to trace the seed of Abraham, you have to use the Bible as a reference. And what is that big book sitting on your grandma's table? A history book of a creation and restoration of the earth after the war in heaven. The Bible is also the history of the world before it happens, the foreknowledge of God. And lastly, the Bible is a record of the genealogy of the children of Israel, without which Israel could never find itself or himself. So you got to turn to the book of Chronicles in the King James Version of the Bible. First Chronicles, the first chapter, verse 34, it reads, "And Abraham begot Isaac, and the son of Isaac, Esau and Israel." The son that we will use for the purpose of this teaching is Israel. Stay in context. If you are a Bible reader, you already know that Israel's original name was Jacob. And this is the lineage, aka sons of Israel, or the sons of Israel, or Israel. In First Chronicles chapter 2 and verse 1, it reads, "These are the sons of Israel, Reuben, Simon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Assar." The book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 1 and 5. "Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man and his household came with Jacob, Israel, Reuben, Simon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Assar, Joseph. All of the souls that came out of Israel were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already." Now the word Egypt means black. And in order for us to write the science effectively, you got to show the pictures of the true Egyptians. Just like in old writings when they say they black as gypsies, black as the Egyptians, black as gypsies, black as the Egyptians. Why? Because we have some people in Egypt today who are pawning themselves off the world as Egyptians. That's why when the second president of Egypt, his name was Nasser, said the reason why Israel is cursed is because God's children left black and came back white. Research it. The people in Egypt today are not Egyptians. They are the Turks left over from the old Turkish Empire. And then you can't get mad at that because I can show you in the Library of Congress who the true Turks and the Moors are. Ancient. We're not talking modern. They got all this stuff, man. They got Egyptian mummy housed at the Vatican Museum. Look it up. They got Egyptian mummies housed in the Vatican Museum. You look at the Catholic Church. The Vatican Church knows what the true Egyptians look like. They have to. No disrespect. Europeans know that the ancient Egyptians were black. Why else would the National Geographic do a front cover piece called The Black Pharaohs of Egypt? They always try to say the black pharaohs of Egypt, but they just pharaohs. They just pharaohs because they didn't identify as black. Come on. I'm just going with the narrative. Just show you who you are. I can get specific later. The problem is with this generation and many other is that there is a major failure to read science. And if you will force yourself to read, you will know that all people of the world, all races, have been migrating for the last 6,000 years. That's why when I show you stuff, everybody agree with what I'm saying. Scholarship. Scholarship. You must deal with it. And you must deal with the right mapping guide. Just like anything else. I said it's a type of everything. And I hope you're dealing with the right type, especially if you were more. I'm right here. You got to have something to compare to. That's the difference of a clean and a dirty glass. We are the people that was removed out the land in 1619 and brought to the Americas, per se, the Caribbeans, all this stuff. A multitude of different people. The so-called Hebrew Israelite with nappy hair, when they try to say Iberians is some damn aliens. The misnomer black Hebrew Israelites, the Salmanazar, the third black obelisk. When they be trying to get you in that religious stuff to try to act like your skin and your hair, all that, and your nose, all that, something wrong. And when I show you in Mexico, when you go to the Olmec Museum, you see the same thing I'm telling you. The same thing, but different in a whole different area. Why? It's a reason why. And so when you see the European Zachariah Stitchin and those brothers calling themselves some Egyptologists, talk about some Anunnaki, some goddamn go aliens, that's blasphemy. You see how low the wisdom be with these brothers and sisters? This is the Assyrian captivity. This is the image of a Hebrew Israelite, male with cornrows, going into the Assyrian captivity. What they be talking about, man? All over. In Libya, everywhere. I mean, the beast just... Remember I was showing y'all this? This was over there in Mexico too, right in front of the museum. This figure, this right here, when you go over there right in the museum, that's a brother. I'm telling you. So I don't know what people be talking about. Look clearly. That's in Mexico. That's in Mexico, right? So I don't care. I'm telling you, so one thing clearly, we ain't got to talk about black, Negro, black, and colored because it was none. Hell no, they ain't call themselves Negro, black, and colored. I mean, it's just facts. And I ain't arguing with that. I'm not finna argue with that. But you can't say in the beginning the world was dark. We go all over the world was dark, man. We go all over to Venezuela, all over. We go to the Netherlands, all over, man. This ain't no slander. This is liberation. We can go all to Queen Charlotte. King George III. The Black King of England, a medieval miniature of Edward III of England. The king is wearing a blue garter of the Order of the Garter over his plate armor, ca. between 1430 and 1440. Before 1450, this image is of King Edward III of England, and he is not a white man, as was taught in your history books. This image is almost 200 years older than the letter that George Washington wrote back to England concerning the arriving black Europeans to the Americas. Wow. There we go. Come on, man. Research this. This is liberation. I've been to the Catholic churches behind me and my empress. Right in the back, they got all your stuff in gold. Big facts. You all know the story of American Revolution, and the reason I know you do is because you have been taught more about the, no disrespect, the European man and his history than you have your own. And this is a true image of King George III I just showed you. And he doesn't look like a white man. That's why when I talk about Mozart, when I talk about Angelo Solomon, the first Moorish Mason, he looks very much like a mulatto, aka they like to say a red bone. And for those of you who don't know what a red bone is, it's an adjective, a word that describes something. And in this case, red bone described the color of King George III. And on the next page is the image of his wife, the most beautiful Queen Charlotte of Germany. And this woman is a red bone with nappy hair. See? Dick Gregory did it. The lecturer, pull up Dick Gregory and talk about Queen Charlotte. They know this stuff, man. I'm telling you. Just like Behold the Pale Horse, when he talk about the secret the secret treaty of Verona. It's in Behold the Pale Horse, the fourth chapter. And more just be making videos, I'd be laughing. I said, man, they don't have no power. They just talking. It's barbershop talk. We've been talking barbershop talk for 30 years. Who cares? The statue of Magdeburg Cathedral. This is the oldest known image depicting Saint Maurice as a Moor. The statue was carved around 1250 and shows him as an armed knight. And I showed y'all Saint Maurice. I got the other books with the Tetrarchs. Saint Rendellus, also Reno of Calgin, 11th century. The saint of the city of Dortmund. Look at all these old pictures, man. All these old monuments. The Black Knights of Europe, painted panel from the outer right-hand wing of a pulpit. The young man wears the crown of a nobleman and carries the red and white military pennant and shield of the Holy Roman Empire, circa 1447, from Wiener Neustadt Abbey, Staffendam, Vienna, in typical Albion fashion. You see how everything is reversed? He is claimed to be Saint Maurice. Look at him. Look at Saint Maurice. Look at him. Huh? Just like in the Sacred Drift, Peter Moon, aka the European Hakim Bey, when he talk about Noble Drew Ali, when he try to compare Noble Drew, he could have stepped out the hall on Napoleon. No, Napoleon copied our prophet. They know. Like Shirley Lowe saying, they know. And I'm going to show you another image. It's located from the image of page 86 and enlarged to show you that the black kings and princes of Britain and Ireland, the images don't lie. There was a time when the royalty of Europe was one other than the black man. And if you are a Hebrew Israelite, per se, and you know Brother Bowie, you can see that a couple of these guys look like him. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm just waiting till my food get done because I'm about to some mash. My emperor's over there putting it down. Icons of all saints of British Isles and Ireland. Figure 41. The image was found at St. Seraphim Church in Walsingham, Norfolk, England. And I bet your eyes are jumping out of your head when I show you this. Not only do they depict their kings, princes, and nuns black, they also present Jesus as black. And I know the images are small, but it is one of the pieces of the puzzle. And when you look at this in color, you will see what I'm saying. I'm telling you, all this stuff is in the Catholic churches when they have their Greek festivals. I've been there. I got a lot of Roman icons that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I got the book Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. You don't believe me? You believe the European? When they say the European tried to whitewash themselves in the history books off Maccabees, right? You say the Maccabees. And then you got to make it very clear that these pictures are authentic images of the black European kings. And most of these images are being warehoused at the Vatican Library. And you can validate these images from the reference section of the science. I always give reference. That's why when I teach these kids this, all they teachers be like, can you have your tutor come meet us? Yes, I sure will. The black popes of Britain, Ireland, and Europe. I am on the same opinion that you are. I don't know what to make of the fact that the kings and popes were black. It is bleeding unbelievable, but the images don't lie. We traveled to the 15th century and the Europeans are depicting their kings and popes as black. Don't be mad at it. Look, research it. For anybody, and they all talk about color don't matter. Well, damn it, if color don't matter, then show the truth then if color don't matter. If color don't matter, show what it is. Exactly. You gotta know who you are and be guided the right way in love. That's why we should be supporting something that's righteous. The Black Roman Empire, Frederick I of Barbarossa, Holy Roman Emperor Frederick Barbarossa, 1122 to 1190, received credentials from ambassadors of Venice, a miniature early 15th century, Museo Coro Venice. So far as late as the 12th century, the kings of Europe are being depicted as black by the Europeans themselves. These are not only forgeries. Could these be the Jews that were carried off into captivity by Vespasian Caesar? And just like when you research the European Oliver Cromwell, research what the European Oliver Cromwell done in the name of Christianity. And then you'll start seeing what I be talking about, the Spanish Inquisition. And then when I be start showing you stuff about the doctrine of discovery. You see, the European agree with me. Forget all that TikTok shit. I ain't got time for that. We building something real. Now here goes another picture. Charlemagne, the Shrine, commissioned by Henry IV, 1054. Palatine Chapel. It appears that the French kings, according to antiquity, ancient history, were black, even from the beginning of their reign. This is an image of Charlemagne. And if this guy isn't black, then the sun doesn't rise in the east and set in the west. See, they get mad when I talk like this, but I don't care. The truth will set you free. It will make you free. The truth will make you free, and the truth is recorded. The truth is recorded. It's liberating for all men. For all men. We stand on it. Show y'all another one. King Charlemagne, Black Holy Roman Emperor. Charlemagne in Czech Republic. Charlemagne Carlos Manus, meaning Charles the Great, 742 to 814, was king of the Franks from 768 and emperor of the Romans from 800 to his death in 814. This portrait I'm about to show you of Charlemagne comes to you from Karlstein Castle in the Czech Republic. It appears that the brothers in the Eastern Europe had no problem with the truth concerning black emperors. The symbol on his shield is the symbol, two black eagles, of the Black Holy Roman General of the Black Holy Roman German Empire of Europe. This is fact, not fiction. The only fiction is in our modern day history books. The real history of Europe is a black history. And after the Renaissance period in Europe, everything that was black became white, including the symbol of the Habsburg Empire. The eagle is now painted white instead of black. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Come on, man. The European agree with me. The European agree with me, man. The European agree with me. I've done this stuff in scholarship in front of thousands of Europeans, standing ovation when I was getting my dual master's degree at Grand Canyon University in first century history and first century religion with a minor in linguistics. Come on, man. And I stood on truth every time. I ain't care who liked it. Truth will make you free. And I'm going to show you an image of Charles V taken from a painting in Lima, Peru Museum, being depicted as a black king. And this is the grandfather of King Leopold I and the father of Queen Marie Habsburg of Austria. The entire family is black. You can't really see it too much. It blew up, but research it. You'll see the face. You'll be like, man, hell yeah. I'm telling you, man. It's just what it is. People who want proof, things, it's there. And a lot of these Europeans have them in a personal museum. I have a lot of my personal museum. That's why I'm telling you, I'm right here. And I got a lot of artifacts. A panel from the painting in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru, depicting the Inca emperors. This panel shows the last several sequences and the subsequent first European emperor of the Incas, Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, Carlos Quinto. The images of Charles V that has been recorded and kept in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru, from left to right. The last image on the right is the true picture of Charles V, the Holy Roman German Emperor, the father of the Marie of Austria. He is depicted as a black man. And I'm on the figure I'm going to show you, Marie Habsburg, Australia, 1528 to 1603. And this is Queen Marie of Habsburg of Austria, who just so happens to be the mother of King Leopold I. On page 81 and 82, I'm going to show you. Look, man. Don't they know? Like Shorty Lowe say, they know. The hidden cause of the Civil War, if you had a tittle of that blood in you was a Negro. I got the books. See, people are just like to hold pictures of books up. They show off Amazon, but they ain't spend no money on them. They ain't got it. Here go the Holy Roman Emperor King Leopold, 1640 to 1705. The image was taken off a coin that was minted by King Leopold of himself, and he had himself depicted as a black man with nappy locks. Look. Come on now. That's why the Whigham Party is in Behold the Pale Horse. I show y'all one of the Whigham Party. Y'all don't even know what that's about. And they always talk about some secret treaty of Verona. Because they don't know. Because they not elite. They ain't initiated. I tell y'all, I'm transparent. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. That's why I be laughing at them Negro Masons. The European is not the joke of Freemasonry. The Negro is. Because the European know that he or she is a son of a Muslim. Holy Roman Emperor Leopold I, 1640 to 1705. See him on the coin? Come on, man. And when I go to one of my, because I go to get an award when I go back to the Philosophical Research Society, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to see, can I take my camera in the back? In the back, it's a Buddha, man. I don't know how big it is. It's a black Buddha. Buddha look like one of the Olmec heads because all the Olmec heads look different, but it's so freaking huge. When I say huge, and that's where I be getting a lot of the Gnostic books at. Harvard and Cambridge, and they got a lot of Gnostic books. They got a library in the basement. Harvard does as well. They know what I'm saying. That's why when I was getting my dual master's degree at GCU, most of my research came from Harvard, Cambridge, and Oxford. Them professor was going nuts. And then one of my, one of my mentors was hitting them up, blew their mind that I knew these people at these universities because I wrote them. Let them know what I was doing. Let them know who I was. Boom, 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 boom. Had no problem with nothing ever since. Figure 37, coin depicting Leopold, the image of King Leopold I, who just happens to be a black Holy Roman German emperor. The images can be a little disconcerting, but these images have been originating in Europe. In fact, the Habsburg house is the house that houses that the next Holy Roman Emperor will come out of. The most interesting point that I like to make is that Habsburg of Europe are non-white. So how did that happen? A whitewashing of history. So when I go back to the Rushing Icons, a book by Vladimir Ivanhoe, it show you how they whitewashing the history books. In the book of Maccabees, it said, I'm going to show you a black Holy Roman King Emperor, King Leopold. The image, the snapshot that comes to us from antiquity of blackness of the Avignon popes that moved their residency from the papal estate in Rome to come under the protection of the Black French or the Frankish King Charles V. These black popes had to move to France because of the tide of racial hate that had begun to spread across the continent of Europe. I told y'all about Oliver Cromwell, the European Oliver Cromwell, right? Research it and his diaries. On hindsight, their departure from Rome signaled the beginning of the coming 100-year race war in Europe. I'm telling you. It's like when I tell people, if the Moors ruled Spain for 700 to 800 years, where do they go? In English, the genocide of the black Europeans. See? This is scholarship. Thanks for the donation. That's like one of my nobles will say, it's like, when I teach this stuff to college students, I know my information when I give history students, especially that's going for African American studies and philosophy and religious studies. I tutor them all, and I get paid for this. And I come over here and teach and lecture for small pennies. That's why I tell Moors, you don't have to go to Amazon and buy all them books for hundreds of thousands, act like he gonna carry them books. I got them PDF. I got my own company, my PDF books. You can get them, download them on your tablet, and you can go to Office Max or Staples and then print them and bind them. And if you come into my lectures, if you give donations, I give you literature. When the papacy moved from Rome to Avignon, it's been recorded in history that the papacy did indeed move from the papish estate in Rome to France from the years of 1305 to 1378. And this has also been phrased as the Babylonian captivity of the papacy, which is an allusion to the 70-year captivity of Judah and Babylon. Every scholar know I'm telling the truth, man. I've done this stuff so many times on the college campus. The black Hungarian King Bela, B-E-L-A, King Bela or Bela, on the flight from the Mongols, the Mongols in Hungary, 1241. It's in the Széchenyi National Library in Budapest. The picture is of the 19th century reproduction from Chronicum Pictum in Hungary's National Library. Look what you see, man. The man on the bottom is the painting of Emperor Alexis I from a Greek manuscript in the Vatican Library. See, they got Moors going to Hawaii just for fun, but you go to Mexico and go to the Olmec Museum. Gonna blow your mind. The black kings and popes of Europe, the black Russian king Marian III. Marian III was a king of Kardali, modern Georgia, a contemporary to the Roman Emperor Constantine I, 306 to 337. Kardali was the successor state of the ancient kingdom of Colchis, Colchis, made famous by Herodotus' description of its people. They are black-skinned and they have woolly hair. And the ancient kingdom of Eastern Iberia, there we go again, the Iberians. Anunnaki ain't no damn aliens. 17th century mural from the cathedral in Georgia, Sephenskopfeli. I can't pronounce that right, but you know we talk about German. And according to the early medieval Georgian annals and hagiograph, Marian was the first Christian king of Iberia, converted through the ministry of Nino, a Cappadocian female missionary. He is credited with establishment of Christianity as his kingdom state religion. and is regarded by the Georgian Orthodox Church as a saint. Come on, man. They know. They know. They know. It's like when I get to the 1599 Geneva Bible and it's going to call you a blackamoor. Germany tapestry, wild men and Moors, 1400 AD. It's a snapshot of what the black Europeans experienced during the 100-Year War from 1334 to 1453 in Europe when these white barbarians overran black Europe. You think that this image is deep? You got to keep reading it. And I don't have time to narrate it, but it's there. Just like one of Sheikh Anta Diop's books, The Barbarians. See, people be trying to disrespect the scholars in the first century, like J.A. Rogers and all that. Even Du Bois. A lot of people don't know they was light. And so that's why they would boule. People be mad because they not elite. I'll just know. I don't have to take no oath. So I just wanted to be clear, man, because it's almost that time. I'll smell it, Empress. But all this stuff, man, is written, man, and it's very, very easy to get this information. Well, who y'all think made Mansa Musa map? Italians wrote this. This is what they saw. They depicted what they saw in first century. We have to illuminate the teachings and correct the teachings. We've been lied to. Ancient black Arab. They say Arab, but the true Arab is A-R-A-P. A-R-A-P. I got all the documents to show you. Everybody know exactly what I'm saying. Scholars. They all agree with what I'm saying. No slander. It's just what it is, man. They try to say the European Zachariah Stitchin and a lot of our miseducated brothers talk about this as some Anunnaki. Man, this the Iberian, man. They get you caught up in some alien stuff. Why? Because they want to think you didn't do nothing. All this garment is in the Bible, in the Hebrew lexicon. When I talk about the garments, from the robe to the sash, no matter if it's silk or cotton, to the girdle, to the earring, to the bonnet on the head, to the turban with the jewel, we just lost. And then most of these brothers is afraid to wear their fez. They're afraid to wear their fez. They'll talk that Noble Drew Ali stuff all day, but they're afraid to wear their fez. And them European nations wear that fez in clandestine. Why you think all when I show you all the pictures of the Europeans, they ain't afraid to wear your fez in secrecy. They wear your fez with Islam on it, Muslim, El Bay, and Morocco. And then these Moors going to demonstrate talking because they afraid to wear their fez because they scared. I ain't never afraid to wear my fez. I wear my fez and all doing my business. If law governs all events, these Moors, you would never see them with a fez on. They have on all these baseball hats, I don't know, a skull hat that don't mean nothing. They won't even have on a bonnet or a kufi, but they'll never have on the fez on again. And the European to wear that fez in clandestine, proudly. And then, no disrespect, the European women, the daughters of American Revolution that came up with that goofy marriage license, they'll wear that white fez with the gold tassel proudly, in secrecy and clandestine. And we are afraid to wear our fez. Man, come on, man. It's the time to rise up. And if you are more, wear your self-identity. Wear your self-identity. I hear Moors talk, well, I ain't gonna wear my fez because Moors out here crazy. Well, okay, well, that's like saying I'm gonna take my skin off because niggas out here crazy. Do you hear the scary chomp shit in that? Oh man, black folks out here crazy. So I'm gonna put white face on because I'm afraid. No, it's the type of everything. The feds ain't crazy. It's the person under it. That's why I tell my people we the upper echelon and we a tribe. You know what I mean? And we accountable for our actions. People don't want to be accountable, and that's the difference. When you hear these Moors making videos, they don't have their fez on. They travel out of the country, all that, they don't wear no fez. And they say some goofy shit like this, excuse my candor. Man, I would never wear my fez out of the country because this, man, you got to be goofy. Man, I know Europeans wear the fez in natural time. In Egypt, in Israel, fez don't mean, god dang old Muslim. They don't even know that. In the continent of Africa, they tapis, Dennis, it's your national hairdress. I got so many different tapis. That's why I be laughing at Moors. That's why I'm like, they have no understanding. And they'll tell you, I ain't gonna wear my fez out of the country because this, and that, and the other, because you scary. If you got a passport and you don't have your fez on, you scary. Just admit that. Don't tell nobody you navigating. That ain't navigating. I'm who I am. I ain't gonna sit and make videos and say, yes, I'm a Moor and talk all about Noble Drew Ali and then don't never have a fez on. So what, you a Freemason and you wear secrecy and clandestine? What, it's a trophy? You see? Because all these Moors started off talking Moorish science, talking Noble Drew Ali. All of them. And now they can't make no money, and now they want to talk, well, about Noble Drew Ali, they don't pray to man. I ain't say pray to man, but I'll give credit. All of them started off talking Noble Drew Ali. All of them. All of them was talking about the Zodiacus. All of them. All of them started off giving credit to Noble Drew Ali. They used to try to pull out their old Moorish Science Temple of America ID cards. They all used to wear the fez. Now you won't catch their ass with the fez on no more. Why? Think about it. Because they were doing all that criminal shit and they're afraid to be who they are. Man, I'm who I am no matter where I go, in the universities, to the churches, to the prisons, around Europeans, to the Philosophical Society, anywhere. I'm a Moor, 24 hours, 7 days of the week, 365 days of the year. I am who I am and I'm righteous. And at all times, you got to ask yourself that. You got to ask yourself the question. All these Moors started off with, in New York, doing all these videos with those I forget what the name of those conscious community shit. All of them having their fezes on. All of them. Now they have hats on and shit. Now they always talk about some paper shit, trying to cancel some corporate debt. Look at the goofy shit, because it's money chasing. That's why I say you can't be a righteous scam artist. Can't be no noble scam artist. That's why they always got to keep reinventing themselves. Look at it. You can't put that fez on it because that fez gonna burn your head off. It'll burn your bald head. It'll burn your fucking dreads off. It'll burn it. And so Moors just be all over the place. Instead of talking about nationality as the order of the day and giving history and giving truth and eliminating falsehood, showing the rights of the indigenous people, the religious rights of indigenous people, you got to ask these Moors why they're afraid to wear their fez. And the first thing they'll say is, me wearing a fez don't make me a Moor. And that ain't what I said. I ain't say you wearing the fez ain't contingent on you wearing you being a Moor is contingent on you wearing your fez, but being Moorish is. If you say you Moorish and you talk about you following teachers and you a punk, excuse my candor, you afraid to wear your fez? Because you started off lying, talk about the Zodiacus, wearing your fez from the beginning, and now you won't be caught with that fez on? And you diss the fez? I traveled all over the world with a fez on as a Moor, as a sheikh, as a rabbi, as a shaman, as a medicine man. I don't be looked at as no Muslim. Moors be lying, talking about if you go to Israel with the fez on, you be looking. That's a lie. And whoever said that, I don't got to say no names. They lying because they must have been known as that. You must got a background as that or promoting that. Or that's when people come to you, they come to you like that. But I ain't afraid of them because I lay my life down for what I believe. I lay my life down for what I believe. I'm a Moor 24 hours of the day and ain't nobody going to make me strip down who I am because I tell you who I am. I tell you who I am with love. Fez has nothing to do with Al-Islam Muslim. This bonnet don't have nothing to do with you being no Muslim. My benin or my topi, no matter if it's the fez or my other type of topi, they just don't understand. They just don't understand. But you will go to Israel and won't wear your fez because you scared. I done been to Israel. I tell you, I told you the Igbo and the Igbo people. What you just going around tourists? See, that's what people be doing. They be traveling all around, going around in tourists, sitting in motherfucking hotels. And I ain't talking about nobody specific. I'm just telling you, if that's what you're doing, you can't be culture if you're going around and then going around Europeans trying to tell you something about culture. When I tell you, when Negroes try to make videos talk about around European modern Turks, talk about these are Moors and this why they wearing the fez, trying to say why black people wearing the fez. Man, you ain't no Turk or no Moor on that level just because you stay somewhere. No disrespect to no one. So that's why I be asking Moors, why are you afraid to wear your fez? I be seeing all these Moors with all these titles and they had their fez on Instagram. You see them in real life, they got baseball hats, chrome hats. And then they be asking people, where you get the fez from? You get the fez from me with the proper perforations. Your Moorish fez should have proper perforations for symbology. The breathing holes, the tassel, everything. Yeah. Your fez should have the proper perforations for symbology. So if you are Moor, why you don't have a fez? Your fez should have those breathing holes in there. The navel should be 1 inch. Umbilical cord, the mundane ball, the strings around the mundane ball, the tassels, everything. It should be a certain height. You'll see Freemasons, they won't have circles. They'll have pentagrams. And then their fez will be a couple inches lower. Your Moorish fez should have all the perforations for symbology. And your tassel should start off 12 inches because it's just like when you graduate. It's initiation. But Moors just be one what other people have. And then when they go around a real doctor or a real scientist or a real sheik, and you're supposed to know the prerequisites, Moors don't be knowing nothing. They don't be knowing nothing of the science. They get that shit strictly off YouTube and Wikipedia and some goddamn publication company, but they want a black fez. And when they get challenged, they go to jail because they think Moor science is some goofy ass traffic shit. That's what these Moors think. Is Moor science some traffic shit. So that's why when you see these Moors doing anything today, you'll never see them with the fez on. But they started off with the fez. They had that fez on a dresser like it's a goddamn trophy. But I wear my fez anytime doing business. Why? Because law governs all events. It's in the Quran. I just was breaking this down in our adapt class today. We got to chapter 2. We still in common law. This is simple. Writing your Moorish Quran, the Quran of Muhammad, and in the Bible. So that's why I said no one can disagree with what I'm saying. So when I be saying, people say that, yep, I'm a Moor, and then I say, why are you Moorish? Because being Moorish is wearing your fez. Being a Moorish is finding a true sheik and a teacher. Being Moorish is coming to the teachings. Being Moorish is wearing your fez or your turban. Being a Moorish is teaching your children that they're not Negro, black, and colored, teaching a divine creed and nationality. We're not here to overthrow no government. Teach their religious rights. Teach the rights to wear our national headdress. This is our national headdress. So if you say you're a Moor, and then you ask any of these brothers that's demonstrating, what is the national headdress of the Moors? The fez. They ask them why they don't wear the fez. Ask them. Ask them. And then they start getting mad. First thing they gonna do is get angry. But I thought you was a Moor. I thought you were Moor. I thought you was Moorish. Ask them, have they ever been part of the temple? Because some of these brothers part of the temple got fez. They'll wipe it off and shit, but you'll never see them wearing it. They'll wear all other hats. They'll claim all other shit. But I thought your nationality was a Moorish American. I thought this was your national headdress. I thought you studied Moorish science. I thought you loved the teachings of the prophet. Ain't nobody telling you to pray no man. I love all divine teachers in the flesh. It was more than just our prophet. That's why I be laughing. But I just showed y'all pictures of European wearing your fez in clandestine. But if this is your national headdress, you got to tell me, how can you be a Moor and don't wear your fez? What are you afraid of? What did you do wrong? Because I'm in a red state, which is Arizona, and I don't have a problem. And I demonstrate with Europeans all day. I'm part of old school car clubs, truck clubs, and I'll be dressed like a Moor with my tunics on, long with my fez, turban, all that. And I minister to them. So what we talking about? And if you are Moor and you don't have a fez and you got baseball caps and you got a plethora of them and you're on Instagram wearing baseball hats and you got at least $150 worth of baseball hats and you don't have a fez, yeah, because we know you afraid. And when you get a fez, I give you my divine creed of Moorish Islam and the esoteric science of the fez. You should want to know about the fez. You should want to know the history of the fez. You should want to know about it. You shouldn't have a whole bunch of baseball hats and you say you Moorish and you got all these pictures of Noble Drew Ali and nobody never seen you with the fez on, because it takes pride and joy and understanding to put this on your crown. And that's why Moors take it off after they done all that criminal shit. And they say, oh man, I ain't wearing no fez because people gonna be looking at me like this. Yeah, I want you to look at me. My actions is gonna prove everything. And you're gonna know. Oh, so you're gonna take off your skin? Talk to me, y'all, because I'm about to smash. See, that's the same thing when I be saying people scared. We talking about grown men. Are you gonna take off your skin? You say you a black man. Well, they say Negroes crazy. and killers and beasts. Okay, so what? You ain't gonna go nowhere? You ain't gonna be around people, and people in life say that's not true about all people of a certain hue. That's not true. Yes, it may be some, and it's the same thing with this. But see, we let these certain people that be woofing and talking bark because they're afraid to be themselves, which our prophet clearly said. You're going to always have these people that be afraid to be themselves. You're going to always have people that start off talking a good game, talking that Zodiac and shit. Then they going to start reinventing themselves because they poor. They're going to start making videos. They're going to start doing all this shit, trying to do this, just a whole bunch of book shit. But if nationality, the order of the day, all that shit means nothing. Where's the institution? Where's the schooling? If you're a scholar and an educator and a guide, where's the pupil? We have a school. We have a curriculum. We have more science every Sunday. We have a DAP class every Saturday. And I do lectures every Friday, just like I do on the college campus. And we have a full library. So why would any more that's on this Instagram and YouTube go anywhere else and get their books from any other platform? You got to be hating your own brother and loving something else. And if you like to write in books, once you get the books, once you pay for the PDF books, you can it's downloaded to your email. You can go to Office Max and Staples and have them printed and bind the book. You can write all in it. But the joy is you have it for life. So you can give the book to your homie that's in it for the same price you got it from me from. That's an NFT. It's electric. And then you can print it again. But you got all these books on your tablet, so when you're traveling, it's easy for you to study. These people be lying, talking that NFT shit. I'm like, man. And then I always talk about, see, NFT, it's digital. Yeah, I know your shit fake. They always talking that Bitcoin shit. I said, man, I know scam artists. Show me your ROI. Anybody tell you to put all your money in some Bitcoin, they crazy, because Bitcoin ain't backed by shit. They'll say money ain't backed by nothing. I say, okay, but I can trade my fiat, whatever you want to call it, for gold and fucking silver and for something, and I can trade my goddamn money to give me some Bitcoin. I can diversify my portfolio. See, they just talking magical shit to get you caught up. To what? To buy their goddamn program. It's a Ponzi scheme. That's why I said they can't come to me with this old school shit. They ain't even smart as Bernie Madoff. They only run this shit on goofy niggas. I'm telling you, I know the game. It's for you to buy their program, and everybody buy their program, and then you show me 10 people that's doing good like you say you doing. Give me 10 that can testify. Not no fake ass testimonies you bought. Give me 10 people that just doing just as good as you. You can't. You can't, because it's fake. It's all about buying some fake ass program. And none of that shit works. And Moors don't want to tell the truth. I don't care about all that good talk, all that good rhetoric. You can talk all that shit. At the end of the day, it's still trying to buy some program. I know how this shit go. Because if you was showing the people to invest in the stock, you will have real classes. It ain't just about no Negroes. You'll have real stock classes and people that's really dealing with that. You don't have to be pulling nobody's teeth out. You'll have real testimonies. Red people, black people, orange, green, purple, all the colors of the rainbow. Like, hey, I'm in the stocks. I'm in the investing. You be like, this shit work. Not no other bullshit, just a person talking. And see, this is what I tell people, man. We got to get back into real truth. That's why I laugh, man. I sit back and laugh and I just watch things. And I say, we all gonna be older. And we all getting older. And a lot of people in the same position. All that nigga talk, all that hating when you was young, all that prejudging, not knowing situations, keep you by yourself. Keep you in a box. Keep you chasing shit. Keep you in a lower state, not understanding who you are. Keep you chasing your tail. A lot of these brothers think they know so much. And I said, what makes you think you know something? Then you look at a person's day, what they do in 24 hours. You have no business to even be talking to a person that's this day life, because your whole day is consistent on going to work all day, drinking and smoking. You don't work out, you don't study. So what's your life about? Arguing, barbershop talk, just talking. What about this? What about that? Come on. This Moorish science is true. I just showed y'all pictures of Europeans that wear the fez in clandestine. I tell y'all, like I said, I'm from Flint, Michigan, a hood. I'm in Arizona, and I'm a rabbi to Europeans, scholars, educators, lawyers. I lecture all over, and I come back and teach my people for pennies. That's what we're supposed to do. That's my charity. As my cup continue to run is over. I mean, once I hit hundreds of millions of dollars, you think I'm gonna stop doing this for the people? Then I have my big building, people can come. And we just be operating off donations, just like you do a church. Then I have people coming in, I'll be showing people that I can trust how we get grants from the state that you don't have to give back. We have basketball teams and our own libraries and our own cooking classes, our own skills. That's what this is all about with me. We buy the community back because they give it to us. We taxes them for the federal government. We get a lot of the houses around our neighborhood and fix them back up. I show neighborhoods how to do this. I show different communities how to do this. That's why I be laughing at brothers and I say, where do you get all your books from? I asked him more. He was like, oh, I get my books from Amazon. And I said, well, have you ever seen this book right here? He was like, man, that book $4,000 on Amazon. He was like, man, I really want to read that book. I said, well, go get it off Amazon. He said, man, I never spent $4,000 in a book on Amazon. Well, I said, how you going to read it? I said, well, I got them. I started pulling them out of my book because I was delivering to them to a lot of people locally. So a lot of people that I deal with locally, college people, Moors, etc., I deal with a lot of different nationalities that's into what I'm into, science and research and truth. And so I print the books for him. And so he was like, man, that book on Amazon for $4,000. He said, you print them and bind them? I said, yes, for my clients. I have the machines in my garage and in my office. So I print them and bind them. And I got them for a plethora of the dollar. When I show you, nothing's new under the sun. All the information that I talk about, how can a person be a scholar and just pull out books and then say they're a source of information and can't get them to the people for a fraction of the price? No one going around with no book bag full of books. Do you think I travel with a book bag full of books? Hell no, why? Most of the stuff is in my head because I live it. But when I'm teaching, I have a lot of stuff in PDF. And that's how I share the wisdom. And that's when I tell y'all, man, as I research, other nationalities know everything what I'm saying. They know everything about us. We look stupid when we arguing with each other. And I'm other nationalities teachers. You don't have to be no lower level Freemason, only 32 and 33 degrees. In meteorology, that's when water freezes. That's snowman wisdom. Talk about some memory of Haram Abiff. And they had a jubilee when they killed you. Jabal, Jablum, and Jablim. And they buried you in a shallow grave in the North Gate. You don't have to do that. I'm showing you what clandestine really consists of. My fez is not marked or not defiled. And you see these Europeans with El Bay on their fez, with Islam, Muslim, Morocco. And then you see these fez, these Moors making all these videos, one, because they criminals. That's why they can't wear their fez no more. Because they afraid. This fez represents wisdom. This fez is a hex alpha. This fez represents like a degree. That's why when I talk to Moors, especially the Moors that be having these TV shows, and I'm talking about grown men, talk about you can't put a circle in a square. You have to shake that idiot hand and walk away. Because what you mean you can't put a circle in a square? A circle in a square, if you know how to use your compass and a square, they both have 360 degrees, but different parameters. 90, 90, 90, 90. Circle, 90, 90, 90, 90. Square, 90, 90, 90, 90. And then the misnomer swastika, which Hitler stole, 90, 90, 90, 90. When I have our third annual Moorish Ball out here in January on our prophet birthday, we having our Moorish Ball January 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm taking all my nobles to the Herd Museum, and I'm going to show you. They stole everything. And so I'm here to resurrect the teachings. You know, I teach Europeans. I'm an educator all over life. That's why I say my people know my voice. How can a man say they love God, they never seen him, but hate their brother that they see every day? I know where that come from. That come from hate. I know where that come from. And that's why I operate how I operate as a God, on a high vibration. On a high vibration. So I challenge Moors, man, to come to class to learn. Don't give your money away to different platforms, to Amazon and all this stuff, and just watch us continue to build. And come to class. If you don't have a fez, hit me up. Get a fez. Hit me up on Instagram. You should want a fez. You should want to know the science. Because I hope you don't think you Negro, black, and colored. You're going around with that black stuff and that Black Lives Matter stuff. That's a misnomer. There's no such thing as black. Negro, black, and colored is synonymous to slavery. Point blank. That's a fact. Black wasn't even used to describe ethnicity in the first century. These is keys. So when you say you black, show me where you black at. Show me in the Bible where it say you black. Misnomers. In the biblical scriptures, in the 1599 Geneva Bible, it calls you a blackamoor. Black is just describing to you. It's an adjective. Like this fez, this is a fez, and this is a fez. This fez is black. This fez is maroon. But you're not going to say, oh, she got on a black. Or if I put the other fez on, you're not going to say, oh, she got on a maroon. You're going to say she got on a fez. That fez just happens to be maroon. If I go get my white fez out of there, I have on a white fez. If I go get one of my different toppies on, it's different. Or a tabouche. Come on, man. So I tell you, we're afraid to be ourselves. And that's why Moors won't wear the fez. And they know the fez is dope. They know this ain't no, it can be a dunce hat to the fool. It can be a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket hat to an idiot that just out here faking the funk and still living in their lower self, perpetrating, spewing hate, and not anointed in real life, a fake Muslim and a fake religious person that know they don't do none of that stuff they talk about. You know? And know the honor that you represent when you wear this fez. Hey, Empress. So, yeah, man, that's where I'm at with it. And like I said, if Moors want to read some science, hit me up. You can get this document from me. I have it on my company page, mypdfbooks.com, where you can get all Moorish American literature, history, anything else, etc., PDF books. You download them on your tablet or go to Office Max Staples and print them and bind them. Check out MoorishHaberdasher.com, where you can get all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more. But that's where I'm at with it, man. We're not afraid to be who we are. You're not afraid to be who you are. And if you think you Negro, black, and colored, that's sad. And I ask these brothers and sisters that's Moors, they be concerned arguing with people, and these brothers and sisters be having kids. I ask these brothers and sisters clearly, what do you teaching your kid? I ask these Moors, they be all walking around all angry, mad at the world, mad at old shit because what they mama or dad didn't do. Your mama and dad raised you who you are. What you gonna do? Most of these people don't even have no felonies or nothing. But and these people be having 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 kids or however many kids you got. What are you teaching your kid? What are you teaching your kid? Are you just dressing your son up? Are you just dressing your daughter up? What do your child know? Because all this stuff is old. Like the conspiracy to destroy black boys and girls, it's the same today. These kids don't know nothing. And that's why I ask these brothers and sisters, talk about family time. What's family time? Just having fun? Where you taking your kid to learn? Are you studying with your kid? Are you letting your kid know they're not Negro, black, and colored? Are you letting your child know to be proud of who they are? Are you letting your kid know about the national headdress? Are you letting your kid know about the ancient ones in history? Or are you just having fun? Are you preparing your child for the future? What are we doing? When people be saying, oh, I'm doing that, I'm giving everything to my child what I didn't have. What, some fucking clothes? Some shoes? Your kid don't know nothing. Your child don't know nothing. They don't even know who they are. You don't even know who you are. Most of these Moors go into relationship. I be asking these grown men, how many women you had unprotected sex with in the last 5 years? They get mad. I say, exactly. So you will put your dingling in a woman way before you will commit to something that'll help you with your family and your tribe and everything and get literature. How much you got invested in what you love? Is your business set up the right way, or do you just want some shit? That's all Negroes be want. It's some free shit. They want to file some paperwork to get some free shit, to get some fake, to get some money. I want some reparations. You don't want to know who you are. You want $1. That shit'll be gone in 2.3 seconds. What you teaching your child? Nothing. Selfish shit. And these people be having the luxury to have their babies, that to have them in their house, have multiple children. We out here worrying about other shit. And I ain't talking to everyone. I'm talking to the ones that understand what I'm saying. If you just live your life, I don't have nothing for you. Ain't no reason for you to be here. That's why I tell people, when people just pop up and here and be feeling I'm Upset? I ain't upset. I'm a teacher. I'm a rabbi. That's other people's problems when they come on my page and they be on my page for hours and they don't like what I'm saying. I say, well, you the one that's crazy. I know Moors today living in a lower self, working from check to check, job to job, because they don't want to be guided. And they be 30 and you're gonna be 30 in a minute, 35, and still in the same situation because they don't want to be guided. I know a lot of people in my younger years, they used to say, oh yeah, they hustling and hustling, and now they got their first jobs, like that means some shit. And I be telling these people they only a check away from being a fucking bum. And they be mad because you're not operating in your higher self. I ask these brothers what they teaching their kids. What you teaching your children? What type of women you choosing? Women, what type of men we choosing? We steady dealing with, we try to change people, but ain't changing ourselves first. If you change within, then what you attract won't be no bullshit. You will clearly be able to explain who you are. I be speaking to Moors. I see them every day. I'm like, oh, I'm Moorish, I'm this. I say, yes, you are Moor by birth, but you're not Moorish. Clearly you're not Moorish, because being a part of Moor is wearing your fez. Being a part of Moor is raising your flag. Being Moorish is finding a true sheep. That's what standing on your square really consists of. But the first thing a Moor will tell you, there ain't no temple in my city. It ain't no temple in my city. That's the first thing we'll do, make excuses. And all these Moors will have all these pictures of Noble Drew Ali on their page, but you'll never see them with a fez on. You'll never see them. They jump around the bush. They talk that black stuff. And according to science and law, black means death. So why would we continue to play this old ass game? Shalom alakim, Noble. Shalom alakim. Peace and love to you and your family more. It's sad. And even when I come when Moors, and I love all my Hebrew Israelite brothers, and I say most of them be angry. And I say Isaac and Ishmael's his brothers. This the Moorish Ishmaelite. Why you think if they and most of them Hebrew Israelite brothers don't even read the Hebrew lexicon? When I showed them this, we from the tribe of Judah, a lineage of David by blood, what's the fucking difference? Our attire is the same. If you understand how to read the Hebrew lexicon, our tunics, cotton or silk, our girdle, our sash, our turban with the jewel on it, our bonnets that we wear, aka kufi. Come on, man. The fez is the national headdress. The fez is the national headdress. Why is my brothers afraid to wear the fez? Why? Why? Why are my brothers afraid to wear the fez? And they always talking about that, and the European wear the fez in clandestine. I show you pictures, and they agree with me. They only 32 and 33 degrees. This 99 degrees you're dealing with. 33 times 3. Ancient rite of Memphis and Mizraim. This is spirit builder here. I'm your brother that's initiated, that's consecrated, that been through the fire. Why Moors don't want to come into the teachings? Why are we afraid of this science? Why are we going to listen to Moors and talk and be afraid of masonry? This masonry don't belong to no disrespect, no European or no Negro Mason. This is our science. I teach it. This supreme wisdom. Moor is just a pedigree. This Kemetic science, a lot of time connotated as Hermetic, this is science. What we all should be able to agree on is the 7 Kemetic principles. The European will wear your fez with pride and agree with everything I'm saying in secrecy. So what's our issue? Talk to me. Look what they got written on their fez. And this is what your brothers be doing too, in secrecy. They be all in secrecy. And they have a shirt on called in memory of Haram Abif. Well, Haram Abif was buried in a shallow grave by Jabal, Jabloom, and Jubilee. And buried him in the North Gate. That's why when you see the tomb, when you see the pentagram, and when you see the acacia leaf to mark our prophet, all this stuff. Come on. And the European is not the joke of masonry. The Negro is, because the European know exactly that he or she is the son of a Muslim. They'll tell you that clearly. Real talk. Real talk. See, this supreme wisdom right here. So why are brothers afraid to wear their fez? We're not Negro, black, and colored. Hell, what, James Baldwin told you that? I'm not your Negro. There's too much information out here. What does the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, clearly states? That you have a right of a nationality and a right to change it. No one will be arbitrarily denied of a nationality. You know what arbitrarily mean? Arbitrarily mean no one can just tell you some shit. Like these goofy Negroes just be spilling out their mouth because they think they read something. They saw some goofy shit on YouTube. Or they saw some goofy nigga with some fake paperwork. No one can be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and the right to change it. And the claim of child replaces the birth certificate. What's the House Joint Resolution 75? The House Joint Resolution 75, where you got the right, your national name, annex your L or your Bay. Annex. When I talk about your coat of arms, your family crest, your last name ain't no damn slave name. That's some damn Al-Islam, tribe of Shabazz shit. No disrespect to no one's religion, but that ain't true. Come on. I done dealt with my 5%er brothers and with imams, and they know I'm telling the truth. You can't get me with no folktale shit or with no mystic shit. No disrespect. The SF 181 form pertaining to ethnicity. And we're going to sit here and play all these games. And I show you what you say. They fear men when they should have fear Allah. Thank you. Thank you. And now Allah whooping their ass. They afraid to wear their fez because they be burning them. And they all start off giving credit, talk about the Zodiac, is all of them. All that conscious stuff, they always talking about Noble Drew Ali. Now they done took that fez off. Why? See? Think about it. All that black noise. All them criminals, I show y'all cases where Moors getting caught up talking about some, oh man, I got some Zodiac laws from CM Bay shit. I said, man, that shit don't mean nothing. No disrespect to CM Bay. That shit ain't finna get no criminal out of jail. I don't give a shit about none of that shit. None of it. None of it ain't gonna do nothing. No Sundry Moore Act, none of that shit. I showed y'all precedent in law cases. I continue to show it. You a criminal, you got prior cases, all that. I don't give a fuck if you bring all that shit out. I showed y'all what happened. 20 years that you're gonna get. They don't care. These Moors and that Zodiac laws talk about these Moors, this, and that, and the other. They don't go to jail if they kill somebody. And they try to say, oh, you don't have jurisdiction. That shit don't work. I keep telling y'all this over and over. If a U.S. citizen kill a Moor, or vice versa, if a Moor kill a U.S. citizen, that Moor want to be judged in the same parameters as that U.S. citizen. That's the consular courts. That's the piece. That's a treaty with Morocco and the United States. Big facts. And I ain't even gonna go with all the stuff that's already on the record books. But that's why I be laughing. Only a true official can bring this stuff out. That's why I be laughing. All that other stuff, Moors be talking, sign some petition. I'm like, why the hell would some Moor call himself some Grand Sheik, have people signing some petition now, and the petition's already been signed in certain jurisdictions? The Declaration and Proclamation. And so if these Grand Sheiks so valid, they should just get the proclamation updated in their state or in their jurisdiction. You ain't got to sign none. It's already been done. You can show them what's already been done, and then they can make it happen. If not, you just talking. If nationality order of the day, I showed y'all, they lying. The 8822 number, that ain't nothing, but you can look up that shit in the Library of Congress. The 1010 number, which I showed y'all the letter from the CCRD, from the county clerk, a recorder of deeds, show you it ain't nothing but a religious affidavit. When we gonna stop the lies? I told y'all I can clear this shit up real fast. It won't even take long. Even the consulate book, those Moors, I told y'all, you gotta give the prophets true teachings because it's recorded in the history books and the law books. And then I can show you if Moors talking all this shit, they above taxes and all this, why these fake ass sheets get arrested and go to jail for trying to file fake ass taxes. They can't come to me with that shit. The truth will make you free. There ain't no such thing as no criminal goddamn noble man. When I was a child, I act like a child. When I became a man, when I became a sheik, when I became a rabbi, the true map and the guide, not only for Moors, but for children, with these youth and these single moms, man, I ain't got time for no bullshit. From nobody, especially from my own people. If you gonna play and walk around out here, family or whatever, I don't care. You can just take a picture. And can't nobody say you ain't had an opportunity to get with us. Ain't nobody can say you had the opportunity to learn. And that be the problem with us. Just like our Exhuming of the Nation. Every Moor should have Exhuming of the Nation. I got it on my page and my PDF books. On Amazon, they try to charge like $200 for it. That's how they got us competing. That's how they got us competing. They got us competing with each other. On Amazon, it's like $200. You can get this for me PDF from mypdfbooks.com. Download it on your tablet or go to Office Max or Staples and have them printed and bind it. It's like 600 pages and it's black and white, so it ain't even gonna cost that much. And you will still save money. You can get some more books. You need this. This is like our Bible. It's like a contemporary. That's why Moors will hold it up. But you see, they won't go through it because they'll burn their fingers off because they be lying. They can't nationalize you, none of that shit. See, we a true movement, a true guide and a true map, a clean glass and a dirty glass. I'm right here, man. I love y'all. If y'all want to exhume another nation, I challenge you to go on mypdfbooks.com, books with the Z. You should have it. I'm telling you, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. It's well worth it. And all my books on there is well worth it. And if you don't have all my books, man, you should get them. You should get all my books that I gathered and compiled. I got like 10 more books coming out this year. My book to show you how to set up your business with your EIN, show you how to get quick 30 accounts, show you how to get your articles of organization, show you how to register on Duns and Bradstreet. And then if you already know how to doing that, if you need a web page and all that, the information will be on there where you can contact one of my nobles. His name is Alonzo Wright Bay, and he's my IT guy. He do all the graphics. So I love y'all, man. Peace, light, and elimination. And remember, there's no such thing being honorable, being poor and broke. And when two or more gather, there is the prophet, there is the teaching. We got to come from out of that shell. We got to come together, man. Contact each other. Come on, man. I have a blueprint. I have a plan. Everyone can be a part of this, and everybody can play their position. And you're not Negro, black, and colored. You're not Negro, black, and colored. I promise y'all, man. Share these teachings with everybody. The truth will make you free. Share these teachings. I love y'all, man. I love everyone. And we got to stop letting people play Crips and Bloods with us. This is all our science. Hebrew, Israelite, Moors, Egyptologist, whatever y'all call yourself. I love all y'all. I love us. Our attire is the same. And we are the people of all books. We got to remove that religious controversy. My PDF books, books.com. My PDF books, that's books with the Z. Go on there and get this, man. You got to have it. And Moorish, if you don't have a fez, go on moorishhaberdasher.com and get your Moorish fez. I'll give you a turban with it for free. Become a student, man. Get my syllabus, man, and my enrollment package. It'll be well worth it. It'll be well worth it. Your initial fee, you get your 7 study books that I know Moors don't even know about. The SO workbook, the catechism, Unto Thee I Grant, the Quranic study guide, the SO workbook, the catechism to understanding the Quran, my books, and then my makeup. I told y'all I was brought up in IDMR, which is the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research. When I show y'all all my charts, and all those ancient charts in volume 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, when I show y'all man is made in the image of Elohim, and you can't even buy those books. Those books are priceless. And I show y'all how man is made in the image of Elohim. And I show you everything in your body is a tabernacle built without hands. You should want to be guided by your brother. That's what a map and a God and Messiah is. That's what true resurrection is. Oh, Malcolm X had a story. He was sweet red. We love all that, but we don't love our brother that's anointed and consecrated. No more lies, man. I love y'all, man. Peace, light, and illumination.